Hi guys, and welcome back to the Ultimate Decades Challenge. Last episode, we left off with Izzy and Delia both successfully beating their death rolls and aging into a child and a teenager. We also got to see the place that Delia likes to hang out when she goes off into the woods, and we were introduced to this character named Barbetta. We still don't know a lot about Barbetta, but we do know that she has taken an interest and liking to Delia, and Delia also looks up to her in a way. We also saw that Baudwin and Molly were able to patch things up after Baudwin had an argument with his dad and took it out on Molly about their betrothal, but Baudwin has figured out that he really loves Molly and he wishes nothing more to be married to her. We also sadly had to say goodbye to Philip as he passed away last episode, and it was very devastating for Annis and her children. His death came as a shock to the family as they did not know that Philip was sick, and it was even more devastating news for Phineas to hear as Philip was his little brother, and Phineas has been just experiencing so much loss since the last decade. But to get into 1322, we had a wedding, but because wedding stories did not want me to be great, I did not get good footage of that wedding ceremony. But we had Molly and her friends, as well as Baudwin's family there, and there's a shot of Phineas sleeping on the new bench outside because he was basically drinking the whole entire time. He was drunk at the ceremony, and I don't think Baudwin cared too much. I don't think he wanted anything to ruin his and Molly's moment. But guys, look at Molly. I'm so happy that she is now in our household, in our new home. I hope you guys like the new farm. I really like it. I took me a while to actually figure out what I wanted the new home to look like, but I seen on Google that a lot of medieval houses had upper levels that were split, but I don't know. I think this is accurate as it could be. Now, I don't have anything planned for the shed as of now. I'm thinking about turning the shed into an art studio for Baudwin so that he can paint others. I'm thinking that that's what I might do with him in his art, have him paint others for pay. But tonight, I think he wants to do a portrait of Molly, so I'm going to have him do that. As we see him here brushing his teeth in the sink, he's gonna go over there and paint Molly in this moment, their moment tonight. So this is Molly. I love the way this picture came out. I wish I could have zoomed in a little bit more, but there is limitations with the painting option, painting your surroundings option on the easel in the Sims 4. So I just wanted him to start on it and work on it later because I also wanted them to go upstairs and consummate their marriage and also hopefully get pregnant with a Gen 3 baby because we can now start working on Gen 3. Can you guys believe that we are now on Generation 3? It doesn't even seem like it's been that long in the gameplay. So that is where these two lovebirds are going to go. And everybody else, I guess, can just go to bed as well and let the two lovebirds have their moment. I think Phineas is still outside on the bench sleeping. I don't know why they got into the bed with their clothes on. That must be a mod I have, or something not working properly. But the next morning, we were welcomed to a dirty home, and Baudwin was the first person to actually get up. So I had him use the restroom or the chamber pot, and everybody else is still asleep. But I'm thinking I'm going to have Baudwin go outside and finish the painting that he started of Molly. And today is actually All Souls Day, so we're going to celebrate that today and remember the family members that we have lost thus far. But I gave Baudwin a makeover as well as Molly. I'm not sure I'm too happy with Baudwin's makeover. I might change him again when he ages up into an adult. But I do really like what I did with Molly. Guys, look at her. I love this sim. This has to be like one of my favorite sims of all time. So I officially turned her into a Hollywell. So her name is now officially Molly Hollywell. And she is officially one of us. And I'm going to have her go ahead and sweep this floor, which was getting on my nerves. I thought that the dust pack was broken, but apparently my sim was just not doing a good enough job at sweeping at it. So we're gonna see Molly sweep a lot throughout this episode until she can get it all cleared out. And Baudwin is still over here trying to finish painting this painting of Molly. Gilbert is still asleep, but I'm going to get him to get up because we need to work on our garden. Look at the new garden area. I really like this. It doesn't look like how it did at the end of my speed build that I posted earlier, but because it wasn't functional, the Sims couldn't get to it. But I really still like how it looks. And okay, yeah, Molly is still sleeping. And I'm just gonna let Izzy and Phineas continue to stay in bed. I think Phineas is a bit hungover from last night. He was drinking a lot. He was very drunk. And I checked the toilet or the chamber pot, and Molly is not pregnant, you guys. That's okay, because you know I give my Sims 2 chances a day to try for a baby, and we'll have the 2 lovebirds try again. I'm sure they can get pregnant at the end of this episode, or at least I'm hoping. And poor Pepper, because I decided to put in some of those like hay bushes into my new area that I have, like for when we eventually get horses, the dog has been going into the bushes and getting attacked, and now he looks very sick, and there's nothing I can do about it because we don't have vets in this time period. So Pepper is not feeling good. But Motley, or I should say Baudwin, actually finished his painting of Molly, and I thought it was absolutely beautiful. What I'm thinking about is having him do portraits of everybody in the family at some point, and as well as their future children. I guess, see, Molly got tired of sweeping, so she decided to go do some laundry instead. So yeah, what I was saying is I'm thinking about letting him do portraits of the entire family, and with those portraits we can put them at their grave sites when they die, because I'm thinking about having like a little galleries slash funeral site for my Sims when they die under the Hollywell home, as well as I built an off-site that we're going to see later on. But yeah, see, Gilbert was trying to help Pepper out because he was looking very awful, so we decided to give him a bath. But there's still nothing we can do about his foaming of the mouth. I don't think there's a medieval mod for that. I tried to get Molly to do some laundry, and she wasn't able to, but I figured out that it was because the wash bin that I had out wasn't actually functional, which I thought it was, but it wasn't. So I traded out for something that was functional, and she was able to do some laundry. Phineas is still in bed, and I had to lock Baudwin out of the workshop because 1, he probably never ever be in there, and 2, because there's like an invisible easel there, and he just kept on going over there and painting, and it was subtracting our money away, and we are pissed, like very pissed poor right now. But I have this idea to not have Gilbert work in a blacksmith shop, but I still want him to work on his skills of being a blacksmith. And I think this just makes sense so that he can still be on the farm and also worry about taking care of everything else that deals with the farm. I also think that I'm not only going to have Baudwin just paint for a living. I'm thinking about having him do anything that has to do with creativity. So I have him focusing on making like clay plates and stuff, like pottery. I also think he'd probably be good at cross stitching because I saw him doing it throughout my gameplay, so I think that's something he's gonna be doing as well. See, there he goes. He's making some pottery. I think he's making a plate, and eventually we'll start going back to the market. I'll have Gilbert go there and he'll be able to sell everything that we make on a daily basis. But we had Molly make some gruel because we still don't have any other ingredients to make anything else because we haven't harvested yet. It hasn't been time to harvest it. And I have everybody come here and come down to eat. And that was a little bonding moment between Baudwin and Gilbert. And look at these two. I just think Molly is just so happy to be a part of a family again. And she's grateful for Phineas and Baudwin for letting her into their lives. But these two are also going to go upstairs and try for a baby again. And I'm going to have Izzy clean up after everybody. I think Izzy really likes Molly. I think they're gonna be not have a mother to daughter relationship, more of a big sister relationship. But once the sun went down, I had everybody go down into our little place underground where we have our deceased stems, and I made a CC portrait of Phineas and Philippa, and on this table is the urns of Philippa, Claire, Manfred, and Gilbert, or not Gilbert, Gregory. And this was so sad, you guys. They were really upset. I didn't have Molly come down here with them because I don't think she would be, I think she would like want them to have their privacy in this moment because she didn't have any relationships with these Sims. But yeah, everybody was upset, trying to give remembrance. And I think Phineas is drunk to Philippa's urn as well. So that was funny to see. But poor poor Izzy, at some point she asked her dad what her mom was like because she didn't remember, and he was like, she was a beautiful person and she looked a lot like you. And I thought that was really nice. Also, we're here at the other Hollywood household because I built a graveyard specifically for my other households. So this is the place where I'm going to bury all my other households. And right now the only Sim here in this gravesite is Philip, despite you guys seeing all those ghosts. I don't know where those ghosts came from, but the only person buried here is Philip. And I am still so sad for Annis because now she has to take care of her children by herself, and they were barely getting by when Philip was alive. And now Annis has basically resorted to working at taverns by playing the lute. I was gonna say guitar, the lute. For some reason Delia wasn't inside mourning with the rest of her family. I think she's feeling very outcasted from her family right now. But next day I got Molly up early so that she could make breakfast for everybody. Okay, she seemed pretty happy about the floor being clean downstairs, but the floor upstairs is still pretty dusty, and I'm going to try to have her work on that today as well. Again, Baudwin made it seem like he was actually going to do some laundry, but did not. And here we see Molly calling everybody to the breakfast table. Yesterday, Phineas wasn't really up to anything. He slept throughout the entire day because he was pretty hungover from drinking at Baudwin's and Molly's wedding. But he's up today. He's feels a little bit better, so he might be able to work in a workshop and help with Gilbert around the farm today. Molly and Izzy were actually at the table talking, like making fun of Baudwin, joking about Baudwin and his mannerisms and the way he acts. And I don't think Baudwin was trying to pay too much attention to that, but I really thought that was a cute bonding moment for those two. So I had Phineas come in here and work on his blacksmithing skill. He still works at the blacksmith shop, but he can still work on his blacksmithing skill while he's like on the weekends and doesn't have to actually go to the shop. So I had Molly replace that water because I wanted her to do some more laundry. I thought that the laundry on the ground was dirty, but it turns out that the clothing lines I had up, they were not like accessible for the Sims. So this is why you play test your builds after you build them. But I found out she couldn't access these, so I just moved these around a little bit, gave them like a little bit more space in between them. I think what I need to do is change them horizontally and do it the other way so that it could actually be more accessible, because I still think they can't access 2 of these clothing lines. So I'll have to do that in game later. But she was finally able to do it. It was raining, so it really doesn't matter. And here you guys see that Baudwin is cross-stitching. So that is something that I think he's going to do. I got this new family dynamic difficult for Phineas and Gilbert. I think Phineas was in a mood and said something to Gilbert, but I don't think Gilbert would have a difficult relationship with Phineas. He's not like Baudwin, and he really still respects his dad and sees his dad as the person he was before his mother died. So I don't think that fits the storyline. And I had Izzy I was trying to get her to make candles earlier, but she was not listening to me and decided to go in the house and play with her toys, so I decided to let her be. I was really happy that that fire thing was actually functional. Like, they can use the fire pit with the, I don't know which exactly you would call that, over it, but I was glad that that was accessible. But I had Gilbert go ahead and go foraging and hunting today, because I think we can actually start, I guess, eating rabbits and hares and whatever things you can find out there in the woods. I also sent Baudwin down after he took a nap with Molly to make some more pottery. And Molly, unfortunately, is still not pregnant at this point, which was really upsetting, because I really, really would like to see what a child between Baudwin and Molly will look like. And, oh Lord, Phineas was not up to it, you guys. He's been in a very fucking mood since Philip has died, and he's been drinking like mead all day, every day. I don't even know where he gets it from, to be quite honest. And that one is like pretty bad, but he's still gonna drink it anyway, because, you know, it's still mead, it's still alcohol. And okay, Baudwin is like, I'm not even gonna say anything to you. I'm just coming here to just take a quick little nap before I have to go back to work. I had Molly, instead of making some more gruel, because I know my Sims are probably tired of eating that, I had her go make some fish, because Gilbert still had fish in his inventory from when he fished. So that is going to be the meal for the day. And she's a bit flirty. I don't know if Baudwin said anything to her, but maybe they can go try for a baby again later on tonight. And I was so happy because Gilbert went and found some apples while he was out foraging. He was pretty tired when he got back, but once he woke up, I had him go out and plant those apple trees. So now we can eventually have apples. I don't know if we can cook with apples with the cookbook, but we could probably make like some cheese platters. Like, I really can't wait until they get their garden back up, because I'm tired of having to feed my Sims gruel. And Molly and Izzy are downstairs talking again. I think they're talking about just trying to get to know each other a little bit. I also decided to purchase a sheep. I think a baby sheep. I probably had the wrong person purchase it. I had it in Baudwin's inventory. But I did not know that the sheep were actually objects and they come into your inventory. But Baudwin was the one to greet this sheep that we are naming Pudding. So the sheep is named Pudding. I had Izzy go greet the sheep later, because I think that's who I'm gonna have actually dealing with like the baby animals. And here she goes. I think she was really happy to see Pudding. I think she's the person that named the sheep Pudding. I don't think Baudwin really cared about the sheep, to be honest. But she gave the sheep a hug, and I had Gilbert come out here to share the sheep, because that's what I really wanted the sheep for, so that we can have some wool in our inventories, and I can have Molly and Izzy start cross-stitching, as well as Baudwin. So 3 people in this household would be some cross-stitchers. And once Molly gets to level 10 on cross-stitching, I'll have her start working on the loom so she can start making clothing. And again, Molly and Izzy are talking about Baudwin, and at this time Molly's like, yeah, Baudwin is cool. Like, she was thinking, she asked her about Baudwin. She's like, Baudwin is cool, but sometimes he can be like a real nasty person with his funky moods. Actually, Izzy and Baudwin actually have a pretty good relationship. It's just that, she gets irritated when Baudwin starts acting like her dad. And I thought this was cute. Molly she told Izzy that, it's getting pretty late, so you should probably go to bed. And Molly went ahead and put Izzy to bed. And this was like such a good big sister moment. So that's what she did. Oh, that's so sweet. And I sent everybody to bed. But Molly got up during the night, and surprisingly to me, because I kept checking the chamber pot every single morning, and she's in her first trimester. So Molly is pregnant, you guys. We're gonna have a Gen 3 baby. I am so excited to see. Well, we've kind of already seen Baudwin as a dad, but I really want to know what baby that they're gonna have. I would prefer a baby boy, but even if it was a girl, I'd be happy. So I'm so happy about this. We're gonna have a Gen 3 baby. I don't think it's gonna happen this episode, probably next one. But as you can see, our garden is growing, you guys, and we've actually garnered a bit more of some simoleons, so we can spend on like more animals. I'm trying to save up to decorate Baudwin's art studio, as well as for us to get a horse eventually, because I think that's what Gilbert wants. He wants a horse so that he can travel around town. and I woke Molly back up since they woke up in the middle of the night, and I had her throw up since she had morning sickness, and she needed to use the chamber pot as well. Poor Molly. The first trimester is a hard one, but she's a pretty tough cookie. I think she'll make it. I also have Gilbert. Like, Gilbert is just like this jack of all trades. He's gonna be like everything, doing like pretty much everything around this farm. Phineas was also working on his blacksmithing skill as well. And I think Izzy got up and she's gonna sit down and have a meal with Molly. This is pretty much how all our mornings start, with Izzy and Molly working, well, not working, but eating together while the guys are doing stuff around the farm. I'm going to attempt to have Molly sweep this floor again, and hopefully we can get this to clear up. I'm also going to have Gilbert come up here and probably repair that chamber pot. But I deleted her last, or I sold her last broom because I think the issue was with the broom. So she started to sweep again, and we'll see if the floor clears up later. I'm going to also get Baudwin up. For some reason he's still asleep, so he can come down here and finish his pottery, making some more pottery, so we can send that with Gilbert so he can go to the marketplace. Apparently Phineas has used the bathroom or the restroom on itself, so he's going to go take a bath, and our poor Pepper needs a bath as well. I'm going to have, oh, it seems as though Izzy is sick. I hope that is not a deadly illness that she has. I had her play with Pepper a little bit just to keep him company until we get somebody to... Oh my god. Okay, guys. I thought that I had Philip's aging on pause. Not Philip's. Phineas is aging on a pause. And apparently I did not. So he actually ended up passing away this episode, and it was really shocking to me. I had to pause my game because I was trying to figure out a way that I could save him, but it just did not look like that was going to happen. So we're going to work into the storyline. I'm going to say that Phineas was very upset about Philip and still heartbroken over Philippa, that he just couldn't take it anymore. I think he was ready to go and part from this world. So he died from a broken heart. And wouldn't you know, while chaos is going on in the room over, Baudwin is over here taking a bath while his dad is passing away. You can't make this stuff up. I can't. I don't do this stuff on purpose. So Grim is taking Phineas off to be with Philippa and their other two kids. It's really upsetting. I ended up clearing all the stuff out of his inventory and trying to put it here in this pantry area that I've created in the kitchen. So he had a lot of meat, you guys. There was lots of meat in his inventory, and this is very sad. Molly was absolutely terrified, and I think she sees this as a bad omen, you guys. You know, her pregnancy, she just got this news, found out that she's pregnant, and now her father-in-law has passed away. You know, this doesn't seem like, it's going well. And I actually think she is scared of death because she actually watched her mom die when she was little, giving childbirth. And I also think that she is scared of childbirth. So that is something we can play with her throughout this pregnancy. But Gilbert went ahead and put Phineas in his final resting place downstairs with the rest of his family. And I don't know. I think I would have liked Phineas to stay around just a little bit more to cause trouble with Baudwin and Molly. I also would have liked to see how he would have reacted with two Baudwins and Molly's children, but I don't think it was meant to be. I think it was time for Phineas to go, so it is very sad though. And oh, poor Isolde. She's still pretty young. And she's the only child that really didn't know her father before he went. What am I trying to say? Before he just went off the deep end. She was still pretty young when the famine was going on. I think she was like 1 or 2. So that person was the only Phineas that she knew. She didn't know the Phineas that Gilbert and Baudwin knew. I think that Baudwin is upset that his dad is gone. I think he's trying to put on a brave face for the rest of the family though. And it would appear that they have him and Molly have a really good relationship right now, like a strong bond. But I had Molly go to bed early because I know that the death of Phineas is probably stressing her out, so she went to bed. And I'm gonna go ahead and send everybody else to bed, but we're going to have Baudwin come downstairs or back down here, and he didn't get a chance to mourn his dad because I think he was trying to put on a brave face for the rest of the family. So we're gonna have him come down here and mourn his dad and cry for his dad without the eyes of everybody else. So that's what he's gonna do while Izzy cleans up and get herself ready to bed. I think that's what he told her, so that she wouldn't follow him down here. He told her to clean the dishes and get ready for bed. And here he goes. Eventually, as my Sims pass away, I'm going to expand this area more. But here he goes. He's like crying for his dad. Now he has no parents alive, and he is officially the heir, you guys, since Phineas has now gone to be with his mother and siblings. Oh, this is so sad. Poor Baudwin. So that is the end of this episode, you guys. I was not expecting Phineas to die this early in the decade at all. He was actually supposed to last this entire decade, so I'm really sad to see him go. But I think it works for the story that I'm being told, since Baudwin and Molly are now together and they are starting their own family. So it would have probably been a crowded home with Phineas still here, but it still sucks to see him go because he was an original Sim. He was like one of the first 2 Sims that we had with this challenge. Now they're both gone. I have plans for Gilbert to get married soon. I'm going to do a batch choosing for him soon, so you guys can vote for him for a new wife. I also can't wait to see what Molly and Baudwin have, because Molly is pregnant. I also think Molly is very scared for this pregnancy because she experienced her mom dying during childbirth. So next episode, I'm thinking she's going to go visit Margaret so that she can talk that over with Margaret, because Margaret has become a mother figure to Molly. I think Molly will really want her advice on what she should do, since at one point Molly, or I should say Margaret, had a child at once. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like and or subscribe to my channel. I or also comment, because I love seeing you guys comments and seeing you guys how your opinions on the storyline. But with that being said, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.